Hey gorgeous, today we are diving into 3 of my favorite millionaire mindset books. Ready to create a success mindset and learn to think like a millionaire? Let's get to it. Welcome to the PowerHouse. Vanessa here, coach, trainer, and creator of Discovering Your Passion and Purpose, the Seasons of Success seminars, and the Party Goal Getting System. For regular motivation, make sure you click subscribe and ring that bell. Okay, our first book today, is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. Oh, I love this book. Mastering the Inner Game of Wealth. All right, so here's Harv's backstory. He always has been a serial entrepreneur and an NLP master trainer and a copywriter. Definitely my kind of people. Oh, and he's Canadian, which is just extra awesome. So Harv's story is that he started and failed at a bunch of businesses until he opened in Toronto a retail store for fitness equipment. So he was street level on Yonge Street, and he laughs that he used to sit in the window and actually, on the rower, and he would row, and that was how he brought in people. And that to me sums up Harv. He just goes for it. And he's amazing if you've ever seen him speak, if you've ever been to one of his workshops. And so he built up this retail store, built it to multi-seven-figure, and then he got bought out, sold that off, and then he went and founded Peak Potentials, built that up, and then he sold that too. So he is a true serial entrepreneur who builds a business, sells a business, and then goes and starts a new business. What I love about this book is that it is NLP based and no nonsense. Harv doesn't pull any punches. My major takeaways from the book are that we have what's called a wealth set point, and that if we want to have more money and more wealth, we have to shift it. We have to lift it up. Also, that rich people and poor people think differently. There is a huge difference in a wealth mindset, a millionaire mindset, and a poverty mindset or a scarcity mindset. And we need to know the difference so we know when we're slipping into poverty or scarcity mindset and get ourselves out of it. And the idea that money comes and goes, but poverty is a state of mind. And that's a really big thought for me. The idea that my money is an external manifestation of my state of mind to a certain extent, but there will be times that even with an abundance mindset that money feels scarce to me in my bank account, in my pockets, but that doesn't mean it is scarce. And if I keep myself in that abundance mindset, then I keep myself out of scarcity and out of the poverty mindset. For each of these books, I have 3 quotes. So here's the first one. It's from page 68, and it's one of his wealth principles. The number one reason that most people don't get what they want is because they don't know what they want. And I have found that to be so true, and it's why I do so much work with goal setting and goal getting with my clients, because if you don't know what you want and you don't set a goal, the chances of getting it are very low. So you need to know what you want, figure it out, dream it up, write it down, make it into goals, and then go for it. The second quote is page 131, and this is wealth file number 12. And there are 17 total wealth files. And this is his way of saying this is what the wealth mindset is, and this is what the poverty mindset is. And in this quote, he says, rich people think both. Poor people think either or. And this is one of my very favorite mindsets to adopt. An either or mindset is all about scarcity. It's saying I can have this or I can have this, but I definitely can't have both. A wealth mindset is all about saying, how can I get everything I want? How can I have this and this? How can I have money and be happy? How can I have a good family and a good business? How can I be healthy and have a good business? For so many of us that run our own businesses, everything else ends up in the back seat. We put everything else on the back burner. And the wealth mindset is to say, oh no, I can make this work. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna have it all. And then the third quote is on page 147, and it's another wealth principle. And it says, until you show you can handle what you've got, you won't get any more. Oh yeah, this is so true. Oh my gosh. I wish this wasn't true, but it totally is. If you don't show good stewardship over what you already have, stop going for more. If you overspend, if you fritter away every penny that comes to you, if you don't track your income, if you don't track your expenses, if you don't know where it all goes, stop asking to get bigger. If you can't control one employee, if you can't succeed with one employee, stop thinking that you're going to grow to 20. You've got to master where you are now. You've got to have control. You've got to be on top of it. And that's called good stewardship. And until you get serious about it and until you actually start doing it, you're just going to keep hitting up against the same walls over and over again and feel stuck and bitter and exhausted. Okay, and that brings us to our second book. Oh, I'm pulling out my favorites on this one, I tell ya. All right, our second book is The 1 Minute Millionaire by Mark Victor Hansen and Robert G. Allen. Oh, I love this book so much. Y'all, this is where I go when I need to remember that the world is not a horrible place and that there is hope. Seriously, this is one of my favorite reads. And what is most cool about this book is this. You might not be able to, yeah, you can totally see that. So what's most cool about this book is that this side is the left brain logical systems, instructions, how to do what you need to do. This side is a story. Oh, it's all right brain. It's feel good. It's about a woman named Michelle who's overcoming obstacles, rescuing her children, bringing her family together, and getting the heck out of scarcity mindset and into that wealth mindset. I love this book. It is all about becoming an enlightened millionaire. And seriously, I read the story 4 or 5 times before I even ever got to the left side and the left brain stuff. And I don't remember most of it, but I always remember that story. 15 years later, I will still go back and read that book. So it is truly one of my all-time favorites. Okay, the backstory on Mark Victor Hansen is he is co-author with Jack Canfield of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books and many other books besides. And Robert G. Allen is the no money down real estate guy. And both of them have been in the self-help personal development industry for decades. These guys have been around. Take that as you will. So what I love is the innovative storytelling format where you can just read the one side of the book all the way through and pick up all the wisdom and the lessons and the learnings about the wealth mindset that they're teaching, this idea of being an enlightened millionaire, without even having to dive into the left brain how-to part. And they use page references, so at any point in the book when they introduce an idea, you can go read that idea in the left brain section. So my major takeaway from this book is that it is possible to make $1 million quickly. You can radically, drastically shift your money situation. But first you need to do the inside work to shift your money mindset and shift your money set point. And you need to do that by putting in place the systems, the thoughts, the feelings around money that make it possible to have what you want. And if you want to change your financial situation quickly, you have to be disciplined. You have to be laser focused. You have to be passionate about it. And you need to have a team. You need to have people around you supporting you. And you need to get into divine alignment and have the universe and the divine supporting you towards your goals. Oh, and of course you have to be totally willing to step out of your comfort zone over and over and over and over and over again. Quickly, which means you have to figure out how to deal with the freak out that comes when you step out of your comfort zone. All right, my 3 quotes from this book. Number 1 on page 94 are the 24th aha, and there are 24. Desire, belief, self-esteem. When you have these in alignment, you are a power to behold. But this process of alignment doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes it takes years. And that's exactly what I was talking about You can shift your money situation very quickly. You can create radical change radically fast. However, you have to be totally in alignment, and aligning your desires, your beliefs, your values, your thoughts around money and wealth and success and how to do it, and learning the systems to use in your business and your life to manifest that wealth. That all takes time. How much time it takes depends on where you are now and how willing you are to entertain chaos to get where you want to go. Quote number 2 is on page 107, and it's very short. It just is, what does your intuition tell you? What does your intuition tell you? This is a major cornerstone of this book, that we have the answers inside, that we need to tap in. Take a breath and ask ourselves, does this make sense? Does this feel right? This is risky. Remember, when you're rapidly changing your situation, you're going to be banging up against the edge of your comfort zone. So you need to learn to discern the difference between true intuition and fear sounding like intuition. Number 3, page 254. There are dozens of systems for making money. The word system forms an acronym. Save yourself time, energy, and money. And it's true. When you have a system, it saves you time, energy, and money. In the beginning, if you don't have a system, it's almost impossible to succeed. All wealthy people have systems or cookie cutters that they have developed through years of trial and error to cut real dough out of the market. Systems are non-negotiable. If you really want to succeed, you have to get it out of your head and onto paper. You have to be able to train other people to run your systems. You simply can't hold all of the success that you want in your own hands. You need a team to help you do that. Thoughts, comments? Put them in the comments below and let me know what's clicking for you. I'll see you there. Our third book today, we're on our third book, is very different. It is Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. This is one of Dave Ramsey's dudes. This book is brand new and it is so good. Highly recommend it if you want to learn how real millionaires live and how real millionaires think. So Chris's backstory is that he was a football star who then became a corporate banker, and he stayed in corporate banking for quite a few years until about 10 years ago he really started to question who he was, what he was doing, was he building the wealth that he should have? And that's when he made the move to Dave Ramsey's company. Over time, he became one of Dave Ramsey's onstage personalities. He now has his own podcasts and books and shows, and he's totally fabulous and has a great voice. Oh, and his specialty is working with high net worth clients. He works with the millionaires that come to work with Dave Ramsey's team. So what do we need to know about this book? Well, let's start with this. It is very different than the other two books that I'm talking about in today's video. It's still about millionaires, yes, and the millionaire mindset, yes. However, this book is not just about philosophy. This book is philosophy based on data. They went out and interviewed 10,000 millionaires over the last few years to find out who millionaires really are and what they really do and why we should care and are there any secrets to becoming a millionaire. And it turns out, of course, that there are some secrets to becoming a millionaire that we don't hear about in the online space. Because the truth is, for the vast majority of people, becoming a millionaire is all about slow and steady. Just like the tortoise and the hare, it's about continuing to take those disciplined action steps for decades. I'm telling y'all, this is all about boring and unsexy savings. There is no crazy move here that will get you from zero to millionaire. This book is all about the Dave Ramsey philosophy of get your head out of your butt, get your money in the bank, invest in mutual funds, invest and max out your RSP or 401k, and budget, budget, budget. Oh my goodness. This book, it was inspiring, it was exciting, and it just killed me because I like it fast. I like to know that, oh, there's something you can do. You can go buy 32 houses and you can make it all happen. You can have your business and blow it up and, you know, like all the hype. And this book is so not hype. It's so not hype. But while the method to get there is unsexy, here is the very, very sexy part. It's pretty much guaranteed that if you do this, if you budget, if you max out your savings every year, you will end up a millionaire. And all those other plans and systems, there is no guarantee that you're going to end up a millionaire. So when you think into the future and you think, yeah, I'd like to be a millionaire, think unsexy. Think boring. Think small steps. Think budget every freaking month. Learn to respect your money. Learn to respect yourself. Learn to respect your spouse and your time and your energy and your home. Stop looking for the quick win. That's what this book is about, and that is the major takeaway. Okay, other big takeaways are that millionaires are educated, determined, disciplined, I think we covered that, generous, boring, and they are on mission. These people have a purpose, they have a focus, they know their goals, and they go for them with laser intensity. It is inspiring. One of the things the book has is story after story, excerpts from their interviews of this is how I was brought up, this was my family situation, this was my education, this is what I did, and I did it again and again and again until I got to my goal. And now I've got $1 million, except it's rarely $1 million. It's now I've got $2 million. Now I've got $4 million. Now I am kicking it with my spouse. Very, very sexy. All right, our 3 quotes here on page 187. If you don't do these things repeatedly, year after year, decade after decade, then you'll never get the results you want. Your millionaire goals won't crash and burn. They'll just fizzle and sputter out. That is the death of a dream. That is the death of our desire. And that's what happens when we keep trying to get the quick win, the big win, the huge results fast. When we crash and burn, and we always seem to, eventually we just get tired. We get tired of going for the dream. So here's what I recommend. Do the slow and boring way, and then also go for the dream, right? Like, max out your savings. Have a steady job, have that income, have consistent income, and then you can go for the big wins, but not with the money that you're putting toward becoming that millionaire. It's okay to have fun. It's just not okay to be irresponsible. Quote number 2 is on page 46. In fact, not a single person in all the millionaires we interviewed, and remember that was 10,000, not a single one mentioned single stock as a major contributor to becoming wealthy, and not one put single stock in their top 3. Okay, so what does single stock investing mean? So the Ramsey philosophy is to invest in mutual funds where you own a small bit of many, many, many companies. Single stock investing is when you say, I'm going to invest in one major corporation or maybe a few major corporations, but you're actually buying that corporation's stock and getting paid dividends. And this is a commonly touted way to become a millionaire, commonly touted strategy of the wealthy, that they're totally invested in this one company, or they bought Apple before it got big, or, you know, whatever the stories are. 10,000 millionaires, not a single one, use the single stock method to get wealthy. Doesn't mean you can't own single stocks, it means don't make that your plan. Steady, slow, boring, disciplined. Quote number 3 is on page 165. We haven't seen strike it rich, once in a lifetime, risky investments. You know what we have seen? Work. Lots and lots of meticulous, often grueling and gritty, dirt under the fingernails, nose to the grindstone, hard work. Period. That's what you have to do. You have to learn to budget. We've started budgeting in our household, and there was a lot of resistance from certain people in the household that I will not name, but it has been such a gift. We know what we have to spend, we know what we don't, we know what we can splurge on, we know where we can't, we know what we're saving, we know what we're not, we're paying down debt. It's okay to be responsible with your money. It's okay to be slow and steady and boring. Okay, let's do a little compare and contrast. The first 2 books have a pretty similar philosophy. We're kind of used to it now. It's this idea of Go big, take risks, build your team, build a business, be entrepreneurial, get out there, go hard. And those are really great thoughts to have. And it's good to have a success mindset, a millionaire mindset. They're very inspiring. And the third book is also very inspiring, but in a very different way. And I think it provides a good balance and reality check to the typical millionaire mind stuff that we see online, especially on social media. The truth is that most of the people who talk millionaire mindset and stand in front of fancy cars and fancy houses and fancy pools and fancy all the things and talk about their trips to France and, you know the thing that we see all the time. They're trying to sell us something. They're trying to sell us the idea of get rich quick. And the reason I like Hogan's book so much is because it tells us that that's not actually how most people make their money. Most people who become millionaires do not do it through business. They do not do it quickly. They do not do it in a sexy way. They're financially conservative. They are consistent. They are disciplined. They are determined. They set their goals and they get their goals. Their joy does not come from crazy amounts of spending and living a lavish lifestyle. Their joy comes from knowing that they have created security, that they are making wise choices, that they are discerning a wise way forward. They know that long after the flashy cars have totally depreciated and the housing market is totally crashed, that their long-term investments will get them where they want to be. They know that they are winning. And like I said, that is very sexy. So what's your nugget of gold today? What did you learn, realize, or remember that you'll be able to take and use in your life right away to make it better? What's one shift you can make today to bring you closer to that millionaire mindset and having your wealth accumulate? Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you there. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and share it out with your PowerHouse peers. It makes all the difference. And if you're new here, please click subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when we upload new content, which is every week. And for those of you Mojo Masters who know to hang around until the end of the video, here is your bonus power tip. I think it's really important that we learn that there is a difference between having $1 million and having $1 million mindset. You see, it's been shown again and again that when people suddenly come into large amounts of income, whether through their business or lottery winnings or an inheritance, that within a relatively short period of time, they will spend their way back down to their normal comfort zone. They'll end up with about as much or even less than they had before the quick win. Why does that happen? Well, there are a lot of theories, but I believe it's because we have a comfort zone and a wealth set point. Check out my Mojo moment on that one. And when you have a comfort zone and a set point, that means there is a certain amount of money that you feel comfortable with. Anything too far beyond that will make your unconscious mind feel unsafe, and it will actually sabotage you and get rid of that money to bring you back down to where it does feel safe and comfortable. So to me, having $1 million mindset is all about creating the capacity and the ability to receive and hold on to $1 million without the sabotage. There are all sorts of stressed out, burned out, exhausted, unhappy people with $1 million, and that doesn't sound like the right way to live to me. And I don't think we want to be that. We want to build a better world, and that's a lot easier when we have access to a lot of money. And to do that, we've got to have that $1 million mindset. So, are you in? Are you on board? Are you ready to think radically different to create a better world and something new? Are you ready to create a real change? If you are, make sure you get the PowerHouse Success Cycle Checklist. It's linked in the description below. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.